Today we're going to look at seatbelt installation, race harnesses. I got the belts from eBay. The harness bar is also from eBay. I'm going to describe what I'm going to be doing, how I'm going to install them, some of the modifications I'm making to the harness themselves, because these came with clasps that lock onto a circle bolt, an oval, I don't know what they're called exactly. But we're going to show you how I'm going to install them. The harness bar is actually for a wraparound harness, but the original ones I have were brackets I had to put a bolt through, that's why the bolt was through. I'll show you what I did with that. Then we'll go through and show you how to install them using, I'll be using my stock seats for now because I don't have the money to get new ones yet, but I'm working on it. The weld-in plate that has the O bolt, or the eyelet bolt. I don't know exactly what they're called, maybe I'll look it up and let you know. But I'll show you how I install them.
Go off when I enter the building.
Alright, now for the harness bar. This harness bar is designed for a wraparound belt. So what I'm going to do is, since this bar is here, which keeps the seat belt, the shoulder straps from moving back and forth around the harness bar, I'm going to cut right here in the center, a little slot, so I can cut the hooks off of the belt shoulder straps, and I'm going to slide them around here and slide them in here, both sides, and do the same for that side. And then I'm going to tighten them up to see where they're going to sit. So when I put the seat in here, I can have the shoulders, the lap belts going, and have that all set up. Alright, so these are the original brackets that came with the harnesses from eBay. What I did is I put a bolt through the harness bar and put this on there and bolted it together. These new ones came with this, which is what I'm going to use to weld the bracket to the floor of the car and use those eyelet bolts to latch this on. But for the harness bar part, I'm going to cut these brackets off and then wrap this around the harness bar. Because I mean, this is sewn together, so you really can't unsew it. So I'll wrap this around there and use that instead, and that should work out better. Alright, to prepare your belts, I use a vice grip, get the belt out of the way, and then I take a sawzall and cut right through here. Just cut right through here, then this whole thing bends out, and you can take the belt off, and your result will be the harness without the hooks, and it basically becomes a wraparound harness. I already got part of it done in here. All you do is you cut a slot right here, and they become wraparound, and that's how that works. Alright, next I'm going to strip the center console out of here, get the carpet out of here, and start making my measurements and everything else for the harness bar, so I can put this all together, get the seat belts in here, be safe again. So I'm not going to videotape any of the dismantling of the interior because it's pretty much self-explanatory. A few bolts, that's about it, it's out. So when we come back, I'll show you how I'm going to mock up the harnesses and mount everything together and go from there. And now that I have most of the interior stripped out, I'm going to leave the front carpet in, put some protection down when I start welding. Then I'm going to do the mock up where everything is going to go. I'll run you through what I'm going to do to the harness bar to make it so I can use these belts. Then start getting welding, the parts I'm going to be using, stuff like that, and we'll go from there. This is the plate I'm going to use for mounting the lap belt to the car. What it is just a flat piece of metal. It's got a nut welded to it. What this does is allows you to put the eyelet bolt in the plate and screw it down. And you take your seat belt and it locks it in place. So you can take them back out again. You don't have to worry about undoing screws and bolts and all that other stuff. And what this hole is for right here is it's for when you want to test fit mount where you want your bracket to go, your plate. You put a screw in there and it kind of tells you where, it kind of sets it where it's going to go. Then you can put the eyelet in there, the lap belt, and test fit where it's going to be, and then you can weld it all in place. And it's a nice, safe, permanent solution to having to unbolt your belts all the time, and it just feel a lot better, fit a lot better. Alright, so I have the harness belts in for the actual harness bar part. Do some touch-up paint up here, kind of blend it in a little bit better. But now we gotta mount the seat just real quick and see where I'm gonna put the plates to get the lap belts done. And the seat belts should be in after I weld them. Alright, so we have a location picked out for the floor brackets. As you can see right here, I screwed in just to kind of temporary. Now it's not permanent. And then I latched them on to see where they sit. Now I just gotta get in the car and test them and see how they feel. And then grinding down the metal and welding. Right, now that I'm test fitting these, I'm really not too worried about the shoulder straps, I'm worried about the lap belt right now. I think it's gonna work. Yeah. Definitely tight. Keeps you in the seat. So now it's just cleaning up the metal and permanently mounting those floor plates right to the floor pan in the back, and then repeating for the other side, and then it's pretty much it. Right now that we have our locations basically figured out, you take your screws out, and before you take them completely out, what I do is I marked around the area where I have to grind down, because there's some sound deadening material here. So I have to grind this down to bare metal. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to put the screws back in, kind of hold this in place, and then I'm going to weld it all up. So just take a grinder to that, clean it up, down to bare metal, and start your welding. Okay, now that you've cleaned up your spot, it's all bare metal. Took the grinder to it, got it all cleaned up. What you can do is you can put your plate back in there. Sorry about the jiggly camera on the movement. I'm the only one filming, so what you could do is take your screw, kind of place it back in here. Just kind of hold it. That's basically it. Now you just got to weld around the plate. Any spots you might have missed, you might want to clean up a little bit. But as long as your plate is cleaned off, same for this side, clean out the area, weld it, and that's it. Hook everything up and you're good to go. Alright, so I have the plates welded in. It's not pretty, not the best at welding. Kind of real ugly, but I had some problems. I didn't get enough of the sound deadening material off the floor, so it kind of burnt away. I thought I had enough room from it, but it was not enough room. So make sure you clear out plenty more than enough room, or else you're going to have to stop some fires. So that's pretty much it. Next is just reassemble the eyelet bolts and put the seat back in and hook up the belts, and that's it. But that won't be till another video because I have a lot of other things to do before I reinstall everything. So that will be it for now for the seatbelt installation, and hope you guys enjoyed it.
Alarms go off when I enter the building.